Tales of Arise is a great modern game in the Tales series for a lot of different reasons. The cast of characters, the quick pace and fun combat. Tales really feels like it gives you that sense of adventure through a beautiful world. We'll be getting all sorts of Tales HD remasters soon. Until then, here are some games that are similar that you can play right now. Star Ocean is a series that grew up alongside the Tales series, and they actually came from the same roots. The developers were at the same company until it broke apart. Star Ocean Till the End of Time may be the closest thing to modern Tales that you'll get outside of the series itself, with a little bit of sci-fi touches to it. But like many of the other Star Ocean games, most of it is on a low-tech fantasy world. It really hits on the aspects of Tales that you love, with a great cast of characters, quick-paced combat, wide variety of locations to explore. The previous game in the series, Star Ocean: The Second Story, got a fantastic HD 2D remake, so maybe give that one a look too. You can play Star Ocean Till the End of Time on PS2, and if I remember correctly, it's also on PlayStation Plus. And the most modern game on this list is Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. This one is for the Tales fan who really likes this style of action combat. Grand Blue is all about the gameplay, though people do say the characters are pretty decent. Generally, character and story takes a bit of a back seat, though they're not bad. The whole game does a great job of sticking to the friends on an adventure feel, and it does have party banter as well. The meat of the game is in the bosses. They have this feel of something like a combination of Tales and Monster Hunter with linked attacks, allowing you to get those big combos. And the game is great to look at as well. So many great environments, all in a sort of anime style. The game will be getting an expansion that is also on the Switch 2 in July, but you can play the rest of the game right now on PlayStation and PC. If you really want that feeling of a tightly connected party, great story, and a massive unique world to explore, definitely check out the Xenoblade series, starting with Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Xenoblade is a series that we almost didn't even get in North America, requiring an entire operation to get it translated, but it's here now, and it's well loved for good reason. You really get to know your crew as you go through the world. It has a ton of optional content, so if you like having a ton of stuff to do, this is your game. And the main character Shulk even goes on a similar journey to Tales of Arise, starting as someone who doesn't realize his own power, and he grows into this leader, with heartbreaking and beautiful moments throughout the game. You can get Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition on Nintendo Switch, or you can play the original on the Wii. This is one I don't think as many people would connect, but Nouni II actually shares a decent amount with Tales of Arise. It sort of feels like the lighter fairy tale cousin of the Tales series, at least in this second game, with quick-paced combat that admittedly has a little less complexity. The world is less dark, more whimsical, but Ni no Kuni is better than it gets credit for, especially if you're in the mood for something like it. And it has fun systems to play with, like the kingdom building mechanic, which in this game has actual mechanics tied to it. The game isn't always butterflies and rainbows either. It does deal with some heavy themes like war, refugees, corrupt rulers, and the destruction of towns and people's livelihoods. I'd say give this one a shot. It might surprise you. You can play Ni no Kuni 2 on all modern consoles and PC. Going all the way back to the PS2 or the Dreamcast, we have one of my favorite games, Grandia II. Grandia II is all about the duality of man, or the duality of woman, really. If you play it, you'll see what I mean. It's another RPG with a great cast of characters, and this one actually has turn-based combat, but has one of the most interesting active systems in the genre. You can really get it down to science, where you interrupt the enemy's attacks, manipulate how many turns you get before they do. Much like the first Grandia game, it's all about the journey. Grandia 2 can be a bit more serious, especially because of the main character, who's this brooding mercenary type, but it does get silly sometimes as well. Grandia 2 is well worth going into your backlog for, and I highly recommend it for fans of Tales of Arise. You can play it for PS2, Dreamcast, or you can play the recent HD version on modern consoles and PC. It might be the least like Tales of Arise on the list, but I thought it was worth mentioning Ys VIII Lacrimosa of Dana, and as with many Ys games, you spend a lot of it alone chopping up a multitude of monsters, but Ys VIII has this interesting mechanic where you're building up your base, bringing shipwrecked people back to that base over time. It gives Ys VIII a little bit of a different feel to many of the other games in the series, which I think pushes it a bit closer to the Tales series. It also has really great and fast-paced combat, so if you wanted to play something with great gameplay and this sort of anime-style aesthetic, It's a great choice. You can play Ys 8 on PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, or PC. And for this last bit, is a little bit of a bonus for you people that stuck around. I think I'd like to step onto my soapbox, recommend that you play fan-translated Tales games. It's very likely that I'll be making a video about them, so stay tuned for that. But if you're really itching for a Tales of Arise-like experience that you may not have explored already, there's so many good Tales games that weren't officially released in English that you can play because of fan translation. Tales of Destiny Director's Cut, for example, such a good game. It takes the original to new heights, completely upgrading the graphics, making it look beautiful, with even better combat than before. Tales of Rebirth is another one that was more recently fan-translated. It has a very similar style visually to Director's Cut. It has this entire conflict between two races with really interesting themes and characters, and I highly recommend it. So make sure to check the fan-translated games out. They're well worth your time. And if you have any other suggestions for games that are like Tales of Arise, make sure to put them in the comments. I like to think of this as a community effort. It's always good to add more to the recommendations. For other game suggestions and videos about RPGs of all kinds, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.